this is the end of Harry and Meghan. And Harry is definitely feeling this in a very like hard way because this money has is going to end. It has stopped. It is not going to be this happily ever after as they thought it would be.
I think this is the moment that she has finally realized everything's gone wrong and she can't spin it. From what I'm told, Meghan Markle has been going through multiple stages of grief over the Netflix deal. It started with denial. It moved to desperation to change the situation with Ted Sarandos. Then it was anger, and we know what she gets like when she's mad. And now it is complete devastation because to lose one major Hollywood streaming deal is bad enough, but for two to go, well, there's no return. Obviously, that's not how she's going to play things publicly and even amongst her private inner circle, because already Meghan is trying to now secure a new streaming deal for much less money with the far less successful Paramount Plus. And of course, to secure any deal like that, it means she'll have to pimp out so much more. But look, this deal axing has now been confirmed by the mainstream media. Today in The Sun, Prince Harry and Meghan's £100 million deal with Netflix scrapped in a huge loss of revenue for the couple. And it is worth just going into the details of this story because I will remind you that the newspaper's associate editor, Clemmy Moody, who is behind this, was actually the first to reveal that Meghan was going to do a Keeping Up with the Kardashians style documentary, which did come, didn't it, with Harry and Meghan? So these source quotes are spot on, and it shows you that Netflix has been thinking for a long time about this, but wanting to try and exit artfully. So Moody writes, Prince Harry and wife Meghan's £100 million deal with Netflix has been scrapped. The streamer will not renew their contract when it expires in September. The Sussexes and Netflix have mutually decided not to make an official announcement, but streaming execs have quietly agreed to part ways. It comes after Harry's vanity project's polo about the sport was watched by just 500,000 people. It was also understood that bosses were mildly infuriated by Meghan making her as ever brand a priority. A source said, "The deal is done. No more shows will be made. Netflix feel they've got all they can from the couple. Netflix were clever in that they got a hell of a lot of viewers for the first documentary series and knew realistically it would prove the zenith of content from the Montecito pair. They're not unhappy with how things turned out. They got those initial hits and produced one of the most talked about shows of all time. The content got weaker from there on, but frankly, for £20 million a year, anything was better than nothing. There's no animosity from either side. Things have just run their course. Netflix execs are well aware Meghan's priority now is her own brand, and they won't play second fiddle to that. Publicly, there will not be a statement, and of course, if things change dramatically, they'll be open to a one-off project down the line. Now, remember yesterday I was telling you that was the way that Meghan was going to try and spin this. But for Harry especially, this will be a blow because it is a huge loss of revenue. Critically, these Netflix sources briefing that the CEO Ted Sarandos believed to remain on good terms with Meghan. The source said streamer Paramount Plus was thought to be keen to work with a couple who would be open to it if the right project came along. Last month, it was announced Netflix had signed a deal with King Charles and Idris Elba for a documentary exploring the impact of the King's Trust, and it was understood any deal with the Sussexes could be seen as a hindrance to that link up. So that's fascinating too. By the way, all that briefing clearly has come from Netflix, and that's fascinating too, isn't it? In the end, they chose the king. Imagine how much that gets to Meghan Markle. I will just tell you though, this is why you must never trust the mainstream media who have been saying for months and months and months, no, the deal's going to re-sign. They've believed all of Meghan Markle's ludicrous claims to Emma Grede that Netflix is the best partner in the world. Let me just tell you, this is what I wrote, revealing this in June 2023. This is when I was still a columnist for the Daily Mail. That was the headline. Taylor Swift's brutal rejection of Meghan Markle's plea to appear on her podcast proves stars want proximity to real royals, not the bitter Sussexes. That's why I'm told Harry and the Desperate Duchess will be dropped by Netflix next. And my reporting at the time, so remember, June 2025, 2 years ago. That's part of the reason why I'm convinced Netflix is now desperate to follow Spotify out the door and sever their formal $100 million deal with the Sussexes when it expires in 2025. A senior Hollywood source told me, and by the way, this Hollywood source knew all about Meghan and Harry's work with both Spotify and Netflix. This is what they told me. Netflix wants out too. They are envious the Spotify exit could come so quickly. The contract with Harry and Meghan hasn't delivered. It's been a nightmare to navigate from start to finish. And I then said such a ruthless end to the couple's desire to launch an entertainment empire might seem savage, but they only have themselves to blame. The other person who has been all over this story from day dot is, of course, our very own Lady Colin Campbell. And this is what she revealed. So the Mail, and doubtless the rest of the media will soon follow suit, is finally catching up with what I've been saying for the last year, namely that the more financially sober members of the Netflix board have wanted to wind down their involvement with Meghan Markle, and if they do not terminate her entirely, they will retain her on what for her will be starvation wages. Ted Sarandos's assertions that she is some magnet of desirability might have fooled the gullible, but it has not blinded the Netflix board to the reality, which is that she is a toxic money loser and an albatross whose personality is so off-putting that she has throttled their financial ambitions as well as her own due to her universal unlikability. Despite Meghan's delusional belief that she is a financial genius who has the keys to Midas's strong room, Netflix is, ominously for her, now briefing the Mail that her contract with them will either not renew at all or renew at a significantly reduced rate. This is not news, it is olds. At least the reality of what has been happening has finally been acknowledged publicly. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Just wait and see the depths to which the desperados continue to sink as they lower themselves further into the gutter. They will doubtless scoop up yet more of the fecal matter they expel as they try to convince the world that their waste matter is a chocolate ice cream. Sickening as that tendency is, it is nowhere as offensive as the lengths to which significant elements of the media will go to perpetuate the fictions these Sussexes spew forth as they try to get the public to swallow their crap while demanding that everyone acknowledge how delicious it is. All because they are cynical enough to want to keep the gravy train running. But that's not a gravy train, it's a manure factory. And a toxic one at that. My God, she has a way with words. But P-Dina, royal YouTube sensation, with me now to analyse this. P-Dina, can you understand why, even for Meghan, Ms. Confidence, this is a blow that is almost becoming too hard to comprehend? She doesn't know how to put the right face on this one. Big news! Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
Yeah, there really isn't anything that they can do at this point. I think this is the end of Harry and Meghan. And Harry is definitely feeling this in a very hard way because this money is going to end. It has stopped. It is not going to be this happily ever after as they thought it would be. And I can only imagine how this is going to affect the marriage, because Harry needs this money to have a good lifestyle. I mean, he is a prince after all. And Meghan, I think, is just trying to find another way to keep it going. I mean, she never quits. She wants to keep trying to find another way to get the money. But there's just no one that is going to be interested in them, especially after Spotify and Netflix. Like who do you go to next that's going to really help you live that lifestyle that you think you're going to get from doing God knows what? I mean, it is a disaster. Who did not see this coming? I mean, we've talked about it for years, and they thought they were on their way to living the high life in California and going to get all these deals and connections, and they have lost sorely. I mean, it is so it is dramatically tragic. I mean, what do you do now? And it will only get worse from here. It's not going to get better. And when you have someone that is a narcissist like Meghan, she can't help you through these difficult times. She's trying to find how she can help herself out of this. Harry is out for himself. She has to get Harry away from her because Harry sees it. Harry knows this is not someone that's going to help him. Meghan is out for herself. And I don't know anybody that's going to help them now. I mean, it's just such a disaster. You can only hope that the king is able to find, I guess, a way for Harry to maybe come back in a way that's going to get him his sanity back. Because I can imagine he's losing
No,
his. I know you don't want to hear it, Dan. I know, but it's almost like
no.
it's so tragic, though. I mean,
Yeah,
what
but he
happens to
can go and
him?
deal with that tragedy himself. I mean, look, I think the thing that I understand about the king's thinking, P-Dina, is
Mhm.
that he ain't giving up the money. So, okay, there
Yeah.
might be like this idea, okay, you can have a little bit of proximity to the royals. A couple of us might attend the Invictus Games. You know, Charles might go. I think it's highly unlikely Camilla will be there. Obviously, no way William and Catherine
Hmm.
will be. Maybe Eugenie, maybe the Duchess of Edinburgh. But I mean,
Hmm.
that's the best he's getting. I mean, there's not some return to the balcony. And what there certainly
Right.
isn't is any type of idea that King Charles is going to open up the checkbook. So this desperation now continues apace because it's desperation from Harry, but it's who's run out of ideas. I mean, let's be honest, P-Dina, he's never had any ideas. There's been no commercial ideas. They tried everything. Spotify tried everything. Netflix tried everything. The one thing he ended up
Hmm.
agreeing on for Netflix was a documentary on the Invictus Games and a documentary on Polar. I mean, that is the limit of this guy's imagination. He's a
Right.
very mentally, how do I put it?
Immature. He's
Very,
immature.
very. That's a
Right?
nice
He
way of
doesn't know
putting
what
it.
he's doing. He did not know he got himself caught up in. He just did not have a clue. This woman bamboozled him. That's what she did. And I agree. He should not be welcomed back into like the balcony or, financially. But I think some kind of support because we know what his tendency is, right? We know that he has the tendency to go the extreme. And I think that could be very harmful. You don't have to show public solidarity, but I think, hey, we're going to get you away from what is destroying your life now. And that is being in America with that woman. Okay. That I think is obvious. He needs something, but I think he should not be forgiven completely. He has to absolutely understand what he has done. He has to pay the price. But at the same time, he is in a position now where it will only get much worse. Meghan is not looking after this man. She doesn't care what happens to him, and she's going down. Meghan is going down. So what? Harry sticks around and just goes down with her. If you have a loved one, you want to help protect them, but at the same time, you want to be cautious and you want him to also learn from what he has done. And I think there has to be a little bit of grace to help him out of this situation, but not fully back into the royal fold. Absolutely not. Because he is going to pay a big price if he stays with her. Okay. If he wants to just live a regular, average life, go out and get a 9 to 5 job, pay your bills. Okay, Harry, you can do that. But is that what the king's son should be doing? Really, I think something has to happen where Harry and Meghan, this is the end.
See, I
This
just
is
don't
officially the
care
end.
anymore, though, about this idea that we have to protect Harry in order to protect the royal family because he made the choice. I am fully in the William camp on this. I think it's exile. It's exile. I don't care
Mm,
if he ends up flipping burgers at Wendy's. You know, it doesn't impact the royal family now because what impacts the royal family is what he and Meghan have done. And so, actually,
mhm.
I think even if they're brought back into the fold in any way, it's like we're never going to forget that. We've got to speak, by the way, though, about the impact that this is going to have on As Ever. Because,
Okay.
Meghan has been peddling this myth, P-Dina, that, oh, Netflix are all in and they're a major partner of this. And like this, all of my ambitions really went up because Netflix are with me. But then on the Art of the Brand podcast this week, they were like, no, 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 this is not what she's saying at all.
Mhm.
But how does she go forward with As Ever now? I mean, she barely has any staff without Netflix. The reason you're watching this show is because you know that these days, and we've been discussing it lots at the moment, it's impossible to trust the mainstream media or the so-called fact checkers who claim to patrol social media. And that's for a very good reason, given the Brexit debate, COVID debacle, and demonization of Donald Trump. But I've got the solution for you. Today's sponsor, Ground News, created by a former NASA engineer to provide you with the only safe way to consume the headlines, is going to solve so many of these issues. Go to ground.news/outspoken to check it out for yourself, by the way. But I want to show you this incredible website and app in action. So let's take the recent story. We've discussed it lots of Outspoken of Elon Musk's fallout with Nigel Farage over Tommy Robinson, which the left-wing legacy media tried to whip up to destroy all three men, actually. And by looking at Ground News, you can see very clearly that it's collated the 230 sources on this story in one place. But what Ground News instantly shows is how the story is being covered by the media and broken down by whether those media organizations lean to the left or right, illustrated by its biased distribution service, which features on all stories. Then you can scroll down and actually see every article about the topic broken down by the political position or ownership of the publication. So in this case, it shows quite clearly that Fox News gave a fair analysis compared to Mediaite and The Independent, which did not, lambasting the men as morons with big egos without actually looking into why this split happened and how it can be resolved. What's more, Ground News gets to know you personally, providing you with the news stories you're interested in, while also analysing your own biases and coming up with potential blind spots you might not be hearing about because of your media consumption. And look, I know you love the news, that's why you're watching Outspoken, but you don't trust the legacy media. But what Ground News does is give you the tools to understand the truth about what is going on in the world. It is the only way I read the news now, allowing you to see through media bias and manipulative narratives with no more relying on the MSM to define what's really going on for you. So go to ground.news/outspoken to check it out. You can subscribe through my link today for 40% off the Vantage plan, which is what I use for unlimited access. And I should say, by the way, Ground News is a really great organization. It is subscriber funded, and by supporting my sponsors like Ground News, you also support my work too. And for less than a Netflix subscription, you can get all the world's news in one place and think for yourself. It really has been a game changer for a news junkie like me. So let me just repeat the address. It is linked in the show notes below, or you can click on the QR code if you're watching on screen. But the address, ground.news/outspoken. But now, back to the show.
She doesn't have anything without Netflix. Really, what does she have? Hollywood doesn't want anything to do with her. I mean, like these professionals talking about her marketing, her brand, she's destroyed it. She has nothing to recover from. I mean, it's really the end of the road for her. How is she going to make this successful? She can't. She blew it. Okay, that's the reality. She blew it. Now what? I mean, I think she would have been better off just getting a regular acting gig, just trying to do some. I mean, Suits, I think, wanted her, the reboot, LA, Suits LA wanted her. I think she was just too big, for these people in her head. She just thought she was too big. And now she has to, now that's the person I want to see pay the price, because Meghan has done a lot of damage to not just her husband, the royal family, but even those in her own family, the people of the UK. I mean, she's done a lot of damage. She needs to be the one going flipping burgers and doing whatever, because she will never get a real Hollywood job again. She will never get the opportunities that she once had the possibility to get in the beginning. This is the end for Meghan Markle, right? So yeah, as ever is done. Like, who thinks that's going to go take off now? Really? I don't think so.
And by the way, P-Dina, it's not like she didn't make a huge deal of this. And this is why Meghan is so stupid, okay? Because the writing has been on the wall, P-Dina, right, for years. I mean, look, I revealed that in June 2023. So she's chosen to believe this delusion. And don't get me wrong, for a while I was like, oh, maybe he's changed his mind, because she took Ted Sarandos and his mixed race wife to the Beyonce concert. That friendship seemed to be so close. And then she was bigging up the relationship with Netflix so much, and bigging up the fact that really without Netflix, there would be no As Ever. And just in case you've missed that, Here are some examples with Emma Grede.
From about to onboard a CEO and a small team to having Netflix as my partner, that takes it to a completely different level.
Totally different level.
And yes, and goes very far beyond my ideas of, I can sell locally. I could maybe be at a farmer's market. I thought that would be cute.
I'm going to do global Netflix.
Yes. So suddenly it changed quite a bit. And then the offerings, of course, will expand to meet that same demand and that, interest, which I'm grateful for.
And she kept on going on about it.
Is that we've been in partnership with Netflix for 5 years already. My husband and I. So there's familiarity and there's comfort. And while that was just on the content side, not on the commerce side, these are relationships and friendships now. So though I'm working more so with the other building of Netflix, it's still the same group of people. It's still the same points of contact that I can reach out to. I love having a friendship and a nice rapport with Bella. Bella Bajaria has been such a champion of both the series and of this brand. And, it was only from me sending her fruit baskets and jams and whatnot that she said, this is a show.
This is good stuff.
You have to do a show. So I think that changes it because it's not as though you're jumping in with people that you don't know, which a lot of founders, I think, to your point, if they are looking for partnership, for capital, whether it's private equity, VC, or a partner in this way that I have, that's a very big relationship to take on.
It really is.
But if you have rapport running up to it, it does adjust it a little bit because you have a shorthand. Because I think the misconception is when you have a very large machine and a very powerful and influential machine like a partner as with Netflix, and you have me and the profile and all of the attention that brings as well, you have the two of us together. Yes, it's an incredible partnership with a lot of, I'm proud of them. They've got a lot of clout behind them.
Yes.
And at the same time, we're still a startup.
Yeah. You're still a startup.
We're a startup.
Well, it's no partnership now. I mean, God, I cringe. I just cringe, P-Dina. It's like absolutely zero self-awareness.
Delusion, everywhere delusion. This woman, wake up and snap out of it, woman. Really, Meghan, you really don't see how other people see you. First of all, you can have as many partnerships as you want, building on these relationships, but do you have talent? Do you have something that people want to watch? Absolutely not. Meghan has got such a poor reputation amongst people in general. All the news that has come out about her and how she's treated her staff, how she left the royal family, how she still doesn't have a relationship with her own father. There are so many things that are behind this woman that are really contributing to her lack of likability. Even if she maybe even has some talent, but the girl don't even have the talent behind her. She doesn't have anything. So that's how you know this is going nowhere. So look, I don't care. You want to talk about your relationships and going over to this building and these people and what they're doing and their name. You don't have anything to offer. You are not somebody that people want to support and uplift because you're not likable. And it really does come down to that simplicity. Meghan is not a good person. We're in social media era now. The word and the things that this woman has done, they precede her reputation. So she can't now come out and say, look, here's my brand. She can't do that, Dan, because people look at the things that this woman has done and they don't want to buy from people they don't like. You can't sell us things because we don't like you. People know that when you usually buy from people, it's because you like them. You want to buy because there's a connection between the person selling you something and something that you could use. But we can't use it and we don't like the person selling it to us. So it is done. Okay, this woman has really ruined a great opportunity. And I don't know where she goes from here. And she deserves every bit of it because she came into the royal family on a false pretense. She knew she was never going to stay. She used it to do what? To create this brand as ever and to sell these products. This is what she wanted to do from the get-go. I don't care if some woman says, oh, this is a show. Nuh-uh, Meghan knew, she calculated this. I don't know if you saw recently where they showed the lip reader who was talking about what Meghan was saying to Harry at one of the royal events, that they were calculating this well in advance. So even that is not behind her, because people saw how she calculated her leaving the royal family in the very beginning. That too was against her. So that's the problem. Okay. It's just not going to work for her.
And P-Dina, she is now not just a laughing stock, but also toxic in Hollywood. So 2 examples of this. Firstly, Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy went for her again over the weekend. Watch this.
This is a terrible idea. We could change the course of history. You always say that, but doesn't history pretty much suck? I mean, the Crusades, Hitler, Prince Harry marrying Meghan Markle. Again? Oh, like all of your wives are so much better.
So, I mean, literal laughing stock. I mean, literally. Yeah. They are a laughing stock of Hollywood. Yeah, they are the laughing stock of Hollywood.
Absolutely. You know, it's just not Family Guy. You know, we've got so many entertainment industry brands that are making fun of them. When has anyone taken them seriously? It hasn't happened. It's always been to make fun of them. You know, South Park, The Late Show. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, there's nothing really nice to say about you. So the only way people can really get, you know, laughs or people to, you know, I guess take these shows in a way that's funny is to make fun of Harry and Meghan, because they are the laughing stock. And so anyone associated with you is going to be a part of that now. And so that's why she's essentially been blacklisted from Hollywood. People know that you can't align with Meghan and Harry, because that will be to the detriment of your own brand. And so how can you repair this? You really can't. I think maybe going away for a little bit of time and then maybe coming back later and talking about what you've learned and how you went wrong, that's a way. But that's not what Meghan's going to do. Meghan wants to keep plowing away right now in real time, because that's what her narcissism tells her to do. But Harry is a different story. He knows this is the end of the road. So I think he's checking out. Absolutely. And then that's when the real struggle is going to begin, because now we have these children, right, in America, and Harry doesn't want to be in America, right? So it's a whole nother cycle of drama. He doesn't want to be in America,
but he also doesn't want to leave the children. And he's also going to be utterly horrified because, mark my words, these children for Meghan Markle are now cash cows. And they're going to have to be. And he might not like that. He might not want that. But that is where the money is coming from. They are already massively overstretched. They're already in a house that they can't afford. They've already got security they can't afford. They've already got travel costs they cannot afford. So just mark my words, we're going to see increasing pimping out of those children financially in the years to come. P-Dina, Stephen Colbert, he got Markled too, according to Radar Online. And this is what's so hilarious, right? Because his act scene, which I celebrated, by the way, but his act scene is for a whole load of factors, of course, not making any money, a bit like Meghan and Netflix, you know, costing CBS $100 million a year, plus you've got all of the politics side of it. But Radar Online goes with this angle, which I did just love. He got Markled. Stephen Colbert mocked over late night show act scene due to close friendship with Prince Harry and wife Meghan. They write, did the alleged Meghan Markle curse help take Stephen Colbert down? Some royal fans are saying the Late Show host's close association with Prince Harry and his wife could have ultimately spelled doom for the programme, as its cancellation was just announced. RadarOnline.com can reveal. Getting Markled has become slang, synonymous on social media as a term for a personal brand tarnished or hurt by associating with the former senior working royals. Colbert has been a staunch supporter of Harry and Markle while using his late-night CBS show to take vicious swipes at Prince William and Princess Kate Middleton, who are deeply estranged from Markle and her husband. After his joining in on the Where's Kate crap, he mocked the monarchy when Harry came to visit, and a lot of people have been saying, karma is wonderful. Colbert has been Markled. Delighted to see Stephen Colbert Markled today. I thought that when he interviewed Prince Harry on the show, he acted like a complete slime ball and never once looked for honesty with Harry. I have never liked him since. It's nice to see karma come calling. I've never been happier to witness someone's demise. Stephen Colbert deserves what's coming to him. And of course, we remember, don't we, P-Dina, how he spread those rumors involving Rose Hanbury, who threatened legal action at the time when actually Catherine, the Princess of Wales, was not in the public spotlight because she had received that cancer diagnosis. So I guess even though I don't think his cancellation, as much as I'd like to think it was, I don't think it is down to his connections with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. What it does show you, though, is that people are going to celebrate you falling so much more, P-Dina, if you are connected to this couple. And this is why no one in Hollywood, especially no agents, want their clients connected with these two, because they are now the true definition of toxic.
Yeah, absolutely. They are the couple that has come into Hollywood with an agenda. They saw Meghan coming a mile away, and people knew from the start to stay away from her. She is an opportunist, and she's just not a very good person. And in this age of social media, you just can't, treat people the way she's treated people. And Harry aligning with his wife and, trying to make it in America with this woman that has a very poor attitude and just reputation, is bound to happen for him too. And so as a couple, they are just not good people that people want to be aligned with. I mean, people have real loyalty to real royalty. They have real loyalty to the monarchy. And, it's almost like Harry and Meghan are like the fake brand of something of wannabes. And people don't want to be with the wannabes and the fake brand. They want to be with the real deal, and Catherine and William and, the king, they are the real deal. They are the connection to what is authentically royalty. And Meghan thought she could come over to America just by her association to Harry and just, slag off the real royals and become America's new royalty. Well, she was sorely mistaken, wasn't she? She miscalculated. And now people don't want anything to do with her. So this is exactly what she gets. And I uphold the people that wanted to be connected to real royalty, because they're the ones doing the real work. They are the people that have, I guess you would say, subjects, or, the support of the people. That's where it should be, not with this fake, trying to make it off of the name or connection to royalty. That's just low class. That is just so ghetto. I mean, really, Meghan, you are just low class. And good for the people that decided not to align with you. Oprah got her interview, she made her money, but then what? She didn't want anything to do with Meghan after that. So people have used them for what they could, and now they're off to doing other things. Nobody wants to be connected to Meghan anymore. And also, that interview with Oprah was, I think, the beginning of people not really liking her because of what she was doing to the monarchy. It's like, how do you go into a family that has welcomed you with open arms, and then you go on Oprah and you are the first person to speak, not Harry? Like, he's the royal, you come out first speaking? Oh, you got intentions. We see what you're all about. You think it's about you, Meghan Markle. People weren't feeling it, and then they were right, and this is what happens.
Totally. And I think Oprah got Markle too. I think Oprah, like Colbert, was Markle too. And I should just say, the reason that I would absolutely love you to sign up to my Substack on Outspoken to support our movement is because, of course, we do give you those stories that the royal rota simply won't, as proven by the fact that I first revealed the fact that Netflix wanted out in June 2023. You can sign up at www.outspoken.live. A paid monthly membership gives you first access, either live or on demand, to the Outspoken After Show, which you receive every weekday, Monday to Friday. And guess what? It's totally advertising free. Substack is a free speech platform as well, so it protects me from big tech cancellation and also lawfare. www.outspoken.live is the address. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.